Hello and welcome to episode 2 of What I Learned This Week in College, because I'm a college student. That's not what the series is called. Just like last week, not everything I say is necessarily something that my teachers said, nor is it necessarily something I didn't already know, but it could be, I guess. Something I forgot to say last week is that if you have any questions or anything you learned this week that you want to share, put it in the comments. And if you don't have anything you want to share something anyways. And who knows, maybe I'll put it on next 2 weeks from now when I do this again. Alright, so let's get into the stuff. Every story needs a beginning, a middle, and an end, but not necessarily in that order. One must Odysseus and be Odysseus, or else be Calypso. This is how the brain works. Oh no, the thing I don't want to happen. I should worry a lot about this thing. Thing doesn't happen. Oh, wow, the thing didn't happen. It must not have happened because I worried so much about it. And even though this thing really isn't all that likely, I should worry a lot about this thing more so that it will never ever happen. Discourse time is the time it takes to tell a story. Narrative time is the amount of time that happens in the actual story. Meta thing means thing about thing. And now another entry into the dictionary of the DaJoezenOne, or whatever I decided to call this segment in the first episode. I don't really remember. No. Stuff. Noun. Any noun or group of nouns, particularly objects or circumstances, that relate to the subject or circumstances being discussed. In general, stuff refers to a vague idea or a non-specific group of objects which the speaker either doesn't know any information about, does not feel like discussing further, or cannot adequately articulate. And stuff. Don't be weak-kneed. Odysseus is referred to as a spellbinder more than any other name in the second half of the Odyssey. I'm an adult. Constitution is a covenant, not a contract. Holy Spirit is not Jiminy Cricket. Formal equivalence is translating verbatim what the original text says, including word order and grammar. Functional equivalence is translating the meaning of the passage, and not necessarily keeping the word order and grammar. If that makes sense. Emotions are action potentials. Dog is man's best fiend. Cows are not under moral law, unless they're blimey cows. Semantic range is the range of meanings a word can have. I drew this Venn diagram. And since we're on the subject, why don't we now have a doodle break? I drew this ninja. I drew this cool border thing. Science. This is a guy who's swinging on a vine of a tree into this pool of lava. That's an infinity symbol. And this is an FBI agent. I made a beautiful dot and line thing design. I see you. This is, by the way, a workbook. I am supposed to write in this, just in case you were wondering about that. I drew these faces. I drew this beautiful lily pad with bugs and a fish and a helicopter and a UFO, and underneath it is darkness and an octopus monster thing. And Pokemon. Here's a circle. Here's another circle, and that's an ugly cartoon girl boy thing, and that's an ugly cartoon guy. So that's cool. The freedom of speech we have under the Bill of Rights only limits the government. The rule that actions speak louder than words is also true in screenwriting. If you absolutize anything other than God, you will find out how weak it truly is. The rationalist worldview absolutizes the human intellect. In screenwriting, 1 page of script roughly equals 1 minute of screen time. According to R.C. Sproul, there are really only 2 worldviews, theism and atheism. This is R.C. Sproul's face. If you didn't like this video, if you like it, dislike it. If you did not, comment with why, live long and prosper and stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye! The lighting is horrible in this room. Can I tell you guys that the lighting is horrible in this room? Because it is. I mean, look. This half of my face is like washed out. And this half of my face isn't. It's awful. I learned that this week.